When we set off back in February, 42 drivers came in with equal shots at taking the 2025 championship. After tonight, that number will be whittled down to 12 competitors with 500 miles of superspeedway action between then and now. Hi, hello, and good evening, race fans. It's a beautiful evening in Seattle, Washington, as we're just outside of the Emerald City for tonight's coverage of the 26th race for the 2025 NR2003 Mission BBQ Cup Series season, the NEX 500. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's live broadcast here on the North American Sim Racing Network, upstairs in the booth for the NASRN. My name is Trey Wright. And with 25 races in the books, we have come to our final race of the regular season. 5 drivers have been mathematically locked into the chase already, but nothing is set in stone for anyone coming into the biggest wildcard track we go to all season. Armory Digital is a bad, fast facility with a ton of room to run. We've seen 4 wide as the norm here at AD, and there's no better place to shake up things going into the final 10 race stretch of the 2025 season. We've got about 6 to 7 minutes remaining in happy hour as we'll go ahead and take a look at the brand new ticker for this season. Debuting here this evening, part of the new graphics package we have got here for the final 11 races of the 2025 season of the Mission BBQ Cup Series. And for those who joined in last night when the game unfortunately crashed, ran into some technical difficulties yesterday evening, those have fortunately and hopefully have been solved. But of course, like we said, in case you didn't see the announcement in the Discord server, we'll be running this race regardless of crashes, and if the race crashes, I'll take a look at and a picture of the standings over on GNL TV on my other monitor. We'll get another race fired up, and then we'll call it a quote-unquote rain delay, and then we'll get underway for the second race about hopefully no more than 15 minutes after that. But looking through this field here with about 5 minutes to go in happy hour, Thomas Troxel right now top of the board in the number 00 car, and meanwhile Bradley Ream will now go to the top of the charts in the 2, trying to see where that 2 machine is. There he is in that Shell Pennzoil Monte Carlo SS. But a couple of cars ahead of him in that lead pack. That man right there provided some deja vu last week at Michigan from 2024 as Mitchell Collins took home his first win of the season. Just like last year, he'll be looking to get back-to-back wins to wildcard his way into the chase. But of course, first and foremost, we will take a look at the different point standings we've got here coming into Armory Digital this evening, starting, of course, with the regular season championship standings. Riley Sampson. See if we can find the Australian. There's his brother Cole Sampson on track in the 5. We'll see where Riley is on track. There he is in car number 24. He's got a 14-point lead over Esteban Lasser coming into tonight's contest. Again, every position on the track is worth 5 points. This is Riley Sampson looking for his first ever regular season title. Lasser waiting in the wings, and same thing for Campbell Marsh, who is 43 points back. Still has a mathematical chance in case both Sampson and Lasser run into trouble this evening. Matthew Hubert is 4th. All 4 of those drivers round out the cars that are locked in based on points. Caleb Rose and Braden Perez, even though they're not mathematically locked into the chase just yet, they sit within striking distance of the regular season championship, 134 and 147, 7 points back respectively for the 2 Pacific Racing cars, as we are at Pacific Racing's home track here this evening. Then the big storyline for tonight, the chase cut line coming into race number 25. Caleb Rose and Braden Perez are marked in yellow along with Carson Miller. They are over 100 points above the cut line, so while they're not locked in, for Caleb Rose's sake, he just needs a good top 40 finish. He just needs not to finish last, and everybody else above him get top 20 finishes. Same thing for Braden Perez. He just needs a good top 30 finish. Carson Miller needs to have a good run this evening. He only sits 93 points above the cut line right now. But then we get to our drivers that are all marked in red, those being Angel Gutierrez, who is plus 59 above the cut line, Ryan Durrani and Alex Lozano. These drivers are the ones that are in the danger zone right now. Durrani plus 55 and Alex Lozano plus 44 coming into the regular season finale this evening. Of course, 44 points doesn't sound like a lot, but it is about, what is that, 19 positions on the race? Probably about 9 positions on the racetrack. So Lozano and Logan Williams right now. Logan Williams needs to finish 9 points ahead of Alex Lozano if he wants to get a shot at this championship, as those marked in gray, the ones on the outside looking in. There's Logan Williams' team car of Daniel Bouchard as we're trying to find the 17 machine. There he is, right in the middle of a 3-wide pack, the sweetest Dodge in the field, in that Hershey's Dodge. Somewhere on this track as well is Brennan Wilmington, the boss man of the 3 Pacific Racing Car Trio. There he is in car number 62, as happy hour will come to a close here in just a couple of minutes. Alexander Rowe right now 98 points below the cut line, while Wilmington is 60 beneath the cut line. He's going to need a good run and needs to finish 12 spots ahead of Alex Lozano. And you got Corey Case needing a good run this evening as well. Same thing with Owen Miles and Elijah Gordon. The only 2 drivers on the outside looking in right now, Alexander Rowe and Corey Case, they're the only ones with wins. And they could potentially get in via the wild card as we take a look at those standings. Bradley Ream, the 5th car locked into the chase right now based off of wins alone. The only driver on the grid with multiple wins this season. He's got 3 at Charlotte, Diamond Ridge, and Dover. With the amount of parity we have had so far in this season, it has certainly brought about a lot of winners and a lot of competitors who could very well get their 2nd win of the year this evening. Alexander Rowe got the win at Bridgehampton earlier on in the summer. He currently holds that final wild card spot. Corey Case, your Texas World winner, thought he won at Nashville for a brief moment. That was actually Logan Alexander, and Corey Case won last year's race in Nashville. But Corey Case, your Texas World winner, right now 6 points back of Alexander Rowe. Whoever finishes the highest of those drivers, or whoever gets a win of the drivers listed on the screen, will have a shot and will be locked in to the back end of the chase. Keegan Thompson, your Rockingham winners, currently sits 70 points back of Alexander Rowe. Rogel Dorn, Mitchell Collins, Daniel Bouchard make up the 7 drivers, the 5 drivers I should say, that could mathematically point their way in, but realistically are going to need a win unless you're Corey Case or Keegan Thompson. And then the drivers marked in red are more than a full race's worth of points behind Alexander Rowe coming into this event. They are win to stay alive. If they don't win, they will not be fighting for a championship. Eric Monaco, the first car on that list. Logan Alexander fits the bill as well. Same thing for John Andrews, your Daytona 500 champion of Dylan Matthews, and of course the 3 of Reggie Fogelman, Toby Murphy, and Zachary Fitzwater also fitting those bills as well. Just a couple of moments to go here in happy hour with the red flag coming out. Set to be a fantastic race once again this evening. Like we said, Armory Digital is one of the fastest tracks that we go to, and ever since last season, they have ran the Speedway package instead of the restrictor plate. That has generated bumper-to-bumper, sardine-style racing, where one wrong move from a driver and the entire field will collapse in on itself. The big one is not only expected, it is not only feared, it is expected, and it's not when it will happen, but how many times it'll happen over and over. And with the added pressure of performance this evening, these drivers are going to be super aggressive. Like the wise Rick Allen once said, aggressive goes around. Drivers about to be called to their cars.
Drivers, to your car.
So we get set for the start of the final regular season race of the 2025 season. Take a look at some other point standings as well, starting with the owner standings coming into race number 26 of the season. Pacific Racing currently holds a wide margin over Chevy Power Racing, despite Eric Monaco's program having 3 more wins than Wilmington's team. Wilmington Again, all three of their cars have a shot to make the chase here with good runs this evening, while Bradley Ream will likely be the only Chevy Power Racing car to end up fighting for a championship. Same thing with Cameron Garlington's program. Stealth Motorsports, 135. He's tied with Eric Monaco in the owner standings as well. Keegan Thompson, Derek Hamill's Appleseed Racing, and Macklin Hamill Enterprises currently round out the top 5. Titan Fury Racing, NS Racing, Otter Island Motorsports, Brook Boys Garage, and Carson Miller's O2 Racing round out the top 10 for the owners here this season. And of course, looking at the Rookie of the Year as well, no surprise to see Lasser, Marsh, and Miller, the top 3 of the 7 drivers. Not sure why Michael Lewis is not on that graphic. He should be hovering probably around the 6th or 7th spot along with Bruno Diacomo. But Lasser and Marsh, they have not only swapped the Rookie of the Year point lead back and forth, they have swapped the actual point lead back and forth all season long. We'll have to see what those drivers are able to do. But also watch out for Carson Miller in car number 8. He's got to win this season. Same thing with Lasser. Both their wins came on the short tracks. Same thing with Rogel Dorn's only win. Alexander Rowe's win coming on the road course at Bridgehampton, like we said. Interesting to note, Campbell Marsh and Bruno Diacomo, along with Michael Lewis, 3 of the 7 rookies that do not, the only 3 of the 7 rookies that do not have a win yet in 2025. They still have 11 more chances to get into Gatorade Victory Lane before everything is all said and done. But it's a perfect late summer evening in the Pacific Northwest. For the final time in the regular season, it's just about time to turn them loose. We'll step aside for a brief moment, and when we come back, it'll be time for the most famous words in motorsports to kick off the NEX 500 here on the North American Sim Racing Network live on YouTube.
Drivers, start your engines!
42 cars, motor to life in Seattle. And once again, over 100,000 race fans are ready for 500 miles of aggressive super speedway racing. Juan Rodriguez sits on the pole position in the number 48 HTO Ford Fusion. The 07 Papa Murphy's Dodge Charger of Daniel Bouchard sits next to him to round out the front row. Bouchard, your Homestead winner earlier on this season, needs a win to advance here into the chase back in row number 2. The same thing is the case for the 7 of John Andrews, as your Watkins Glen, rather Coca-Cola winner, needs a win here to advance in the chase. To the outside of him is Roberto Crown Jr. in the number 21, and back in row number 3, a freshman and a sophomore. 2 drivers looking for their first ever wins on the Cup Series side of thing. Michael Lewis starts in 5th, Alex Sanvitale rounds out the top 6. As everybody pulls off of the pit lane, there's a look at Alexander Rowe. Right now, the only wildcard driver that is not locked in coming into tonight's race. 48 laps for 500 miles on the docket. The stages coming at laps 15 and 30. We do have a little bit of weather in the area you can see from the cloud cover. Could potentially get a lightning strike, aka crash. If that happens, we'll take a 20-minute lightning clock break. Settle that down. Take a look at the track itself. Again, Armory Digital Super Speedway, an oblong-shaped track. With a little bit of a short shoot between turns 1 and 2. Dogleg between turns 3 and 4. Zachary Fitzwater and Mitchell Collins, only returning drivers of the 4 previous winners here at Armory Digital. Chevy Silverado pace truck will head onto pit road, and a six-figure number of fans once again coming to their feet. It has been an arduous last 24 hours here in Seattle, Washington, and over 25 weeks of competition have led to this evening a 500-mile slugfest in Seattle. There's the green flag in the air, and we are underway for the regular season finale at AD. Right at the start-finish line, John Andrews will be the first one to lead the way here in that number 7 car. 3 wide for the race lead as the hometown hero of Brennan Wilmington will go to the point in the 62, 3 by 3 wide. All throughout this pack as 42 V8 cars thunder their way down the back straightaway and off towards the Lux Hotel. Down underneath of the pedestrian bridge. Now we got 4 wide for the race lead. Skylar Taylor looking for her first win of the season. Toby Murphy might think about making it 5 wide as they're underneath of the hotel and clear down the front straightaway. Toby Murphy trying to take that spot away. 4 wide, 3 rows deep in the back. Everybody packed together like a can of sardines. Alex Sanvatore and Juan Rodriguez up into the outside wall. They'll keep their automobiles straight. Sam Vitale, who started this race in 6th, will fall back the ways away in that iGuys Motorsports number 96 Camry. Back up at the front, it's Murphy and Marsh and Wilmington. Side by side, 3 abreast for the race lead, 4 wide behind them. That's the battle for 4th on back as Angel Gutierrez starting to march his way towards the front end of this field. Started mid-pack there in car number 28, and he is already up to 2nd, trying to get a little bit of a toe off of the freshman driver of Campbell Marsh, the sophomore of Angel Gutierrez, 2 wins in his career. Couple of cars up in the outside wall. Charlie Davenport in the 98 machine. He'll keep that car straight. It will remain green as Carson Miller falling back a little bit in the 8. But Alexander Rowe making some headway there in the 84. Alex Lozano on the other hand, for the 2 Alexes that are fighting for spots right now. Lozano right now with a good top 5 run. Have to see how it will pan out for car number 11. He is on the outside lane. Caleb Rose down to the low side. The Tide Ride, your Papyrus winner, will just barely edge out the 28 that time by, I believe. We'll wait for timing and scoring to update. Takes a couple of moments here for GNL TV to update. And nonetheless, Caleb Rose will now officially go to the race lead in car number 32 here on lap number 5 of 48. Riley Sampson wants that regular season championship over Esteban Lasser. Sampson will fall back to 3rd as Rogel Dorn, in search of a good run this evening in that WeatherTech Ford, goes to the inside there for 2nd. He'll look for the race lead. A little bit of help there from the 05. Owen Miles will now go back down to the high side. He's in the middle. The Chevrolet and Ford sandwich. Gutierrez all the way on the high lane. The 62 of Wilmington a little bit squirrely coming out of the corner. Esteban Lasser, first ever time he has raced at this facility. He is trying to make some headway there, starting from the back end of the field. Started this race in 40th, if I'm not mistaken. Currently sits in 39th, and you have got a Yellow Jackets nest all in front of him. 4 wide, 5 wide as they go through turn 4. This could be dicey. Coming onto the squeeze here into turn number 1. Will they figure it out before getting there? Still 4 wide. Wilmington thought about making it 5 wide. They'll file it back down and will continue to stay green. Fallington in the middle. Georgi riding the outside retaining wall. He will fall back as we got a brief flyby of the field. Still 4Y in the Pied Piper of Armory Digital. Harlan, Kentucky's Caleb Rose was on the call for the fuel race at Cape Cod International a couple of nights ago. Of course, we wished him good luck in this race so far. And good buddy, Mr. Caleb Rose, the Colonel, right now in front of this pack as we close in on the midway point in stage number 1. Rose has led the most laps so far at 3. He's getting a good tandem draft from the 05 of Owen Miles. Miles trying to snap a 110 race winless streak. Could tonight be the night that the Rochester, New York native will get his second ever win in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series. Keegan Thompson looking to make some history tonight by beating out Eric Monaco as the all-time winningest driver on the North American Sim Racing Network. Those two competitors tied at 8 wins apiece on the channel. Riley Sampson looking for win number 2 in the 24 as well. He is underneath of the boss man, his brother Cole Sampson, bringing up that Appleseed Racing trio. But Caleb Rose has dominated the early part of this race so far. Rogaldor up into the outside wall on the 27. He'll fall back a little bit, and he might lose out on some valuable stage points. Is also coming into play. Didn't really get a chance to mention it all throughout the season, but just like in the NASCAR Cup Series, stage wins do mean something. They do mean an additional bonus point going into the chase. And if you're a driver like Rogaldorn, who leads the field with stage wins this season with 4, you want to make the chase and make those stage wins worth it. The boss man of Mike Vincent Jr., thinking of Vision Motorsports, Matthew Hubert, finally got the name right. We saw you in the live chat there. Glad to see you in here, Matthew. He's right in the middle of a Chevrolet sandwich. Reggie Fogelman, your Pocono winner, alongside the 16. Danny Fallington started this race from the rear. And on the other end of the spectrum, the man who started this race on the pole, Juan Rodriguez. 5th car on that inside lane, that blue and teal, number 48 Ford. Trying to make his way back to the front end and not get a good jump on the start. And Esteban Lasserre has lost touch with the rest of the field. I believe that both he and the 96 of Alex Sanvitale may have got together. Got up into the outside wall. A tough break early on for Lasserre, who looks like he will lose the tail end of the draft going on to the back straightaway. Sanvitale will gain back with him, and yeah, Lasserre all by his lonesome, deep in the field back in 42nd. See what he's able to do, but Hubert will go to the race lead. Now the top lane starting to get some momentum. Bottom lane, however, is the shortest way around the racetrack, and they've got the most momentum. Riley Sampson thought about peeking to the outside of Bruno Diacomo on the high lane. Thought better of it. Down to the stripe here. Coming around to 4 laps to go, and now upside down, Carson Miller. He's barrel rolling up into the catch fence. He is flipping end over end, side over side. Caleb Rose is involved as well. A horrifying crash on lap number 11, and the big one strikes. Carson Miller eviscerated up into the catch fence. Some more drivers going around. Alex Lozano involved in the 11 car. Braden Perez totaled in the 92. Dano Georgi's night will end on a wrecker. Same thing for the 58. Michael Lewis destroyed in the 90 car. Same thing for Ryan Durrani, another one of the cut line drivers. Same with Keegan Thompson. Toby Murphy destroyed. That'll be the bid for his championship. Defense gone out the window. Elijah Gordon, Thomas Troxel, among the drivers junked here on the big one on lap number 12. And oh my goodness. Ryan Durrani totaled in the 86, and Charlie Davenport won the race back to the caution flag. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a replay of this here in just a couple of moments. We're actually going to go ahead and look at this here after these guys will come down the pit lane. Had to save the replay from the first stint here, just in case the game does crash. Cole Sampson and Caleb Rose among the drivers completely destroyed in what can only be described as one of the worst crashes that we have seen here in the Mission Barbecue Cup Series at Armory Digital. And good Lord, I don't think I've seen Carson Miller fly that hard. That FYE, that was certainly putting the F and the Y in flying. A little bit of a love tap there between Wilmington and Davenport, as Davenport will come off of the pit lane here under caution on lap number 13 of tonight's event. Everybody coming down the pit lane. Saw the 28 of Angel Gutierrez, some significant damage on that Home Depot machine. He's another one of the drivers on the cut line. And just a horrible, horrible accident for all of these guys involved. Riley Sampson also involved in the 24. The 00 of Thomas Troxel was in it. And we are running a different EXC of NR2003 that should be fine when it comes to crashing. And, you know, we are going to take a picture of the results here in case we do get a lightning strike. We're going to wait for these guys to come off the pit lane as they do. So we will take a picture of everybody that is still on the racetrack. In case they are just, in case we do get a quote-unquote lightning strike. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the replay here. Just in case, we're going to pause the game, and hopefully we'll get a couple of looks at this crash. This was right at the start-finish line, and these guys could not go four wide for long. And we're going to follow with Carson Miller here in that 8 machine up into the outside wall. And yeah, he immediately went upside down. He caught a lot of air, barrel rolling about 8 or 9 times up into the catch fence, nearly into one of the hotels, cleared the catch fence, and was going side over side, barrel rolling in the catch fence. I have never seen a car flip like that. Although we have seen some similar accidents like that this season. We saw that with Mitchell Collins at Coca-Cola a couple months ago. And Cole Sampson also went upside down to the 5 as well. So we had 2 flips that we know of in this incident so far. As Sampson was barrel rolling, and we had another accident. Good Lord. We've got quite a couple of different replays to show here. We'll start with Cole Sampson going upside down. I believe we may have had 3 different accidents to look over. As we'll now follow with Cole Sampson, see what happened to him, and lightning has been detected in the area. Yay. So a lightning strike has been detected. Good thing that we did get that all done. Oh my goodness. That is the most frustrating thing in the world. Fortunately, we did get fortunately we did save the replay. So we will load that up once again. Goodness gracious. So we will get a bit of a brief moment where everybody will get underway, and we will get this race restarted after 14 laps were ran in this race. Everybody did come on pit lane to top off on fuel, so they will be good, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the replay. A couple of different replays before we'll get this all sorted out. I tell you what, I don't know what is wrong with this version of Armory Digital, but it just does not want to cooperate. But it's a good thing that that wreck was canon, and it's a good thing that we did, in fact, get a good picture of where everybody will end up finishing in this contest. But that is very, very, very frustrating sometimes. And we will go ahead and get another look at this replay in just a couple of moments before we will load up the game one more time and try to get things going. But we'll go ahead and take a look at what happened with the 5 machine. Carson Miller going upside down in the 8 car, just flipping side over side horrifically in that 8 machine. Cole Sampson, I have never seen a car flip like that. NR. He's just going to clip Caleb Rose in the 32, destroyed, and he gets railroaded from behind by Ryan Durrani, and just clipped the banking down on the low side. And upside down, barrel rolling side over side, end over end. Both the Sampson brothers getting caught up in this incident here and now, and then we'll get another good look at what happened for this 3rd accident. And it looks like Logan Alexander may have gone into the path of the 90 of Michael Lewis. We'll get a look at it. Yeah, he went down on the low side, shifted back up the racetrack, just barely got caught by the 90. Braden Perez got railroaded there by Matt Wolf and by Alex Lozano, the 2 Broke Boys Garage entries. It's a 96 two-wheeling there for a brief moment. Both of the Broke Boys Garage owners caught up in this, as I believe Thomas Troxel was involved as well. Certainly not what you want here at Armory Digital this evening, and certainly not what you want from just an unfortunate set of circumstances here with the lightning coming, and the cars have been sent down the pit lane. The red flag has been put out. Drivers that were involved in that accident will get a chance to repair their cars. Quite a few did retire before everything was all said and done. But we're going to take another couple looks at this replay before we will get set for the second part of this race. And it looks like NR just does not like Talladega or Armory Digital tonight, because even in a replay, Armory Digital is crashing. I have never seen this before. And again, this is the 4th attempt that we've done? Because even in replay mode, Armory Digital is crashing. Even when I was trying to record this race last night, Armory Digital was crashing. It is the strangest thing that I have seen. And we're going to try this once again. It is the weirdest, I tell you guys, it is the weirdest thing. But this race is not official just yet. Charlie Davenport leads after 14 laps were ran. And we're going to go ahead and try this with yet another EXC. We'll get the replay loaded up once again. And we'll go ahead and get this starting. But again, tonight it has just been a war of attrition with this computer. And I really don't know. I really can't explain what's going on here. We will see if we can get another replay here, this time using a different EXC, and we're going to get a couple of onboards. First, we're going to go on board with the 14 of Keegan Thompson. Thompson was the one that pinched Carson Miller up into the wall. He goes around pretty much the entire back end of the field as the 8 car wedged up in the catch fence. Thompson will bring that 14 car to a halt, and I believe he might be stuck on the banking and had to get a tow back. Tough break for him. Now, we're going to do only a handful of replays here. We're going to look from the back end and see what Matthew Hubert saw. Hubert's back end there in car number 23. Actually, probably better from the 98's point of view. Look at that 8 car go up into the air. Horrifying, horrifying crash. And just nowhere. Rather, not a horrifying crash because, oh Lord, forgot to turn the graphic off. Now we'll look from the back end of Matthew Hubert. Watch that 8 car fly. Horrifying, horrifying crash. There for all these guys. And finally, we'll look from the vantage point of Carson Miller. Hold on, folks. This is going to be a wild ride. Upside down, going forward and backward. You should not see the outside grass on a racetrack. And that was quite ugly. I think it was safe to say that was one of the ugliest accidents that we have seen here in all of our NR2003 coverage. And we will get one more look in real time, following with Carson Miller going for just an eviscerating ride into the catch fence, side over side. Never seen a car flip like that in my life. Got the other crash back in here. And, of course, the other crash as well. How things got kicked off. But Charlie Davenport did lead them back. Everybody came down the pit lane, and we will get this all sorted out on who will remain on the racetrack after the red flag has been lifted. But once again, we are currently in a quote-unquote red flag situation, so pop back into the server in about 20 minutes' time, and we'll get the conclusion after the opening 14 laps have been ran here in the NEX 500 in the season finale. Of course, weather issues have plagued this event all weekend long. We'll see if we can get things sorted out here in just about 15-20 minutes' time. Rather, as we got the microphone turned on here finally, welcome back to the Armory Digital Super Speedway. After caution number 1, we are getting ready to get this race restarted with 34 laps to go after a horrifying crash on the front straightaway that took out nearly half of the field. Only 28 cars survived that crash, and it was an absolutely horrifying crash. In case you're just tuning in, Carson Miller flipping upside down several times, and we'll quickly go over the list of cars that did not make it out of that accident. And this is based off of the race or the replay analyzer, so anybody that had engine damage or significant body damage, you unfortunately did not end up surviving the crash. So Ryan Durrani will end up finishing in 42nd, Elijah Gordon 41st, Michael Lewis 40th, Braden Perez will finish in 39th. How that will stack in the point standings, we will discuss later. Toby Murphy 38th, Cole Sampson 37th, Thomas Troxel 36th, Caleb Rose deep in the field as well in 35th. Keegan Thompson 34th, Carson Miller 33rd, Logan Alexander 32nd, Matt Wolf 31st, Dano Georgi 30th. I believe somebody else was also knocked out as well. And so it will go, or was I? So Logan Alexander 32nd, Skylar Taylor 31st, Matt Wolf 30th, Dano Georgi will be in 29th. That will be the rest of the starting order here, or the finishing order for what is essentially the bottom half of the field, with 12 cars being taken out in a violent crash on lap number 14. Lap number 12 here at the Armory Digital Super Speedway. But the lineup will be the following here in just a couple of moments. Of course, Charlie Davenport will restart on the pole position. Nathan Stapleton to his outside. Juan Rodriguez and Angel Gutierrez will be in row 2. We'll go over the rest of the starting order once these guys will fire the engines here in just a couple of moments. Here, as we begin to get ready, the drivers have been called to their cars, and we begin to get ready to hopefully get it to at least halfway, and hopefully, at the very least halfway, hopefully to the end of tonight's 48-lap contest here at Armory Digital. We'll be back in just one moment.
Drivers, start your engines!
The engines have been refired here at the Armory Digital Super Speedway. Getting ready to get back going under the yellow flag conditions here at Armory Digital. Under the yellow flag, and after a 45 or about a 30-minute lightning delay and repair time, everybody will roll off of the pit area, and we will get the rest of this race started, completed, here at Armory Digital. Charlie Davenport leads in the number 98 machine, rolling back off of the front straightaway as the lightning and the storm clouds have cleared out here at Armory Digital just a little bit. We'll get this race restarted with 34 laps to go here at Armory Digital. Glad everybody is aboard. We are glad to announce that everybody that was involved in that accident has been treated and released in the Infield Care Center, including Carson Miller. Had to be helped from his race car that was stuck in the catch fence. He was checked and released. Fortunately, Miller will be able to race next week. Again, he is locked into the chase in that number 8 machine, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, is not. He is 7th in the point standing, so that might put a damper into his chase hopes here. But we're going to see how the rest of these guys will stack up for the rest of this race. 28 cars remain on track. And everybody came down for fuel. right before this race got halted for 30 minutes, but we are back here at Armory Digital, ready to set sail here at AG for the final 34 laps of tonight's contest. Charlie Davenport will lead them back through the Reese's restart zone, along with the 97 of Nathan Stapleton. Green flag back out in the air here at Armory Digital. 34 laps to go. And a good restart for Charlie Davenport, utilizing the double file lane, but here comes the 48 of Rodriguez. Down on the low side in car number 48. Rodriguez will go to the race lead in that 48 machine. Most laps led in this race so far was Caleb Rose, who had led 3 laps in the contest before that accident, but here comes that 07 machine. Daniel Bouchard in the Papa Murphy's Dodge Charger, the outside pole sitter. We'll go to the inside of the 48 of Rodriguez. Down the front straightaway with 33 laps to go. You're on lap number 16, and once this gate race will get to the end, that was the end of stage number 1. Funny how we quickly lose track of things. So that was the end of stage number 1. You see the result on your screen as Juan Rodriguez will get a stage win in that 48 machine. Back up at the front, everybody on top of one another as some cars were able to get repairs as Alex Sanvitale once again losing touch with the back end of the field. There's Danny Fallington. He is hammering the outside wall in that 16 machine. Fallington will lose some ground as Sanvitale again had some engine issues in that car. He is right now able to get back up and going in that 96 machine. 3 wide for the race lead. Here comes Owen Miles. Was strong in the early run before that brief break. That Celsius Tropical Vibe Ford Fusion will duck down to the inside. He will go to the race lead, and he will lead a lap with Fogelman down to the inside in car number 3. Here comes the 48 of Rodriguez. Up the high lane in that 48 machine with Gutierrez right behind him. Alex Lozano, after being involved in that crash, his team was able to make repairs as the red flag was lifted. He has brought that FedEx machine all the way back to the front. Given that cut line, Lozano will be above Carson Miller. Logan Williams was also able to stay alive in the 17, so that wreck may spell the end of the championship hopes for Carson Miller going up into the catch fence. Roberto Crown Jr. will come around to lead lap number 20. Just a couple of laps away from the midway point in tonight's race here with 30 to go. Rather, lap number 18. We're on lap 19 here. On lap 19, Corey Case also a little bit dinged up in that crash. He was able to repair that machine, and he will go to the front. Both are Otter Island Motorsports entries still in this contest. They will go nearly side by side. Bruno Diacomo will bring that 79 car down low. Zachary Fitzwater leaning up on the 11 of Lozano. Lozano able to keep that 11 machine straight as the field will go 4 wide deep in here. That's Esteban Lasser. Right now would win the regular season championship in the middle of a 4 wide situation. Hot on his heels is that 24 of Riley Sampson. Sampson with Davenport right next to him. They'll go 3 wide, and they'll go 4 wide in front of them. Corey Case at the point. The Otter Island cars trying to make some headway here on lap number 20. Again, these guys came down on lap number 14. Everybody came down to top off on fuel. So again, given the race analysis, and these guys are able to go about, what was it, 27 laps. And these guys can go about 27 to 29 laps on fuel. Given we had 34 to go, if this race goes caution-free, we will see green flag pit stops. And in the past, we have seen issues and cars go awry, trying to get down a very tricky pit lane here at Armory Digital. Handful of laps away from the midway point. Rogel Dorn a little close for comfort there with the 3 and up into the outside wall. Roberto Crown Jr. nearly got ran over by Fitzwater. 5 wide going into the short chute. It's all 28 cars still on top of one another like a couple of lovers on a summer evening here in mid-August. It's Corey Case, the Pied Piper of Armory Digital in that 63 machine. Alex Vitale trying to back up his teammate, but he's got 2 baby blue and white Otter Island Motorsports cars flanking that 63 car to either quarter panel. Diacomo still looking for his first career win, and Dylan Matthews looking for her second win of the season. Your Daytona 500 champion will settle back in third at the stripe. Now here comes Rogel Dorn looking to make it 3 wide as Diacomo nearly got into the outside retaining wall. 4 wide behind them. Diacomo in the 79, just trying to keep things going. 4 wide back in here. Dorn in the 27 machine. Side by side with the 63. Both Agai's cars now getting inside the podium as Sam Vitale still in search of that first win. Here we go, lap number 10. Next time by, this race will be official. No matter what happens from here on out, we will get a conclusion to the race. No matter what happens, Owen Miles off pace in the 05. I believe he got into the outside wall off of turn number 4. He loses track with the tail end of the field. But speaking of a driver that lost track with the tail end of the field, the big one was a godsend for Esteban Lasser. Was able to give him a reset, and that team was fighting a vibration before going into the little bit of a break we had there between cautions. Lasser's team was able to fix that car up once the red flag was lifted. Here he is in that 64 car fighting for a top spot, trying to get his second win. But Corey Case right now in the race lead. He does have 5 bonus points so far for leading the most laps. He's led 2 laps so far. Caleb Rose has led the most with 3. Daniel Bouchard peeking down to the inside, but with 24 to go. This race is official. Coming around to 5 laps to go this time by here in stage number 2. Ever since the big one happened, it has been all caution-free so far out. A couple of cars getting squirrely down on the low side. Everybody just able to keep their automobiles straight as Owen Miles has completely lost touch with this lead pack. Dorn will now shoot his way to the front in the 27. Davenport back down low, looking for that first win on an oval in his career. Eric Monaco back on the outside lane in the 4. Alex Lozano, he's won on a super speedway this season in car number 11, the FedEx Camry. Trying to get his second super speedway win of the season. Same thing, well, not exactly the same thing with Matthew Hubert. He has won on a super speedway before. If you won a Greenville Spartanburg, which races a little bit like a super speedway, and it's got the super speedway length. We will be going to Greenville, Spartanburg in 3 weeks' time after, rather 4 weeks' time. No, 3 weeks' time, a 2-week break. So in 2 weeks, we will be going to Darlington under the lights at Darlington Night Version, I believe 2019. We'll be using a brand new version of Darlington in 2 weeks' time. Of course, the nature of this weekend with the rain delay yesterday evening and just everything that has gone on so far. Everybody just glad for a 2-week break. Fallout Racing guys side by side, 3 laps to go here in stage number 2. Will be a race to the end here. We'll be coming around to 20 laps to go. Alexander Rowe to the point, started this race all the way back in 41st, and Brandon Wilmington not done yet. He doesn't have a whole lot of teammates left as both Braden Perez and Caleb Rose were eviscerated in the big one. But he's got a TRD teammate down the low side in the form of John Andrews. Andrews clipping the apron just a little bit, nearly clipping the 48 was the 13 of Barreto. Barreto finished 3rd in this race last year, was pushing his teammate to the race lead, and now Matthew Hubert into the outside wall. Around goes the 71, the car that won. Around goes Mitchell Collins in the back straightaway. Same thing with Riley Sampson, no caution. And trouble for Alex Lozano. He got pinned hard into the outside wall after that incident. The 11 machine down the pit lane, championship and chase implications. And the same thing goes for Riley Sampson in the 24. And I am very, very surprised the yellow flag did not come out, as that could have been a lot worse. Here we are. White flag, final lap in stage number 2. Pretty much everybody that's going to get stage points up inside this little mini pack up in here. Igor Barreto trying to lead them off the corner. Andrews will get a good run. A little bit of help down the low side from the 21 machine. At the start-finish line, Igor Barreto, stage 2 winner. And it is on from here. Logan Williams rides the Lightning in the 17 car. He's going to lose some ground. He might fall outside the second pack. The 11 of Alex Lozano knows that every point is on the line. He will rejoin this field 1 lap down. So you saw the tire tracks, and we will replay that incident at the end of this race. 18 laps to go, 17 to go this time by. These guys will have to make at least one more pit stop. That is such a tough break for Alex Lozano, currently running 1 lap down. He did lead a lap here tonight so far. Roberto Crown Jr. has led 3 laps, needs 1 more lap led to get the fastest lap bonus away from Caleb Rose. Same thing for Juan Rodriguez, who will go down to the low side in car number 48. Now Mitchell Collins will thunder off. Collins also 1 lap down, and he is going to need a lot to go his way if he wants to get back into contention for this race win. Zachary Fitzwater in the 99 down to the low side. Fitzwater side by side with Juan Rodriguez, who will get that lap led. Roberto Crown Jr. will fall back a little bit in the 21. And Caleb Rose right now is hoping and praying that nobody else is able to lead 4 laps, but Juan Rodriguez will say thank you very much. He will lead his 4th lap of the night and will clinch, or rather hold on to that most laps led bonus for this race, and that's 5 points that Caleb Rose desperately needed. Zachary Fitzwater in the 99 machine, coming around to 15 laps to go. We are right now 20 laps into this fuel run. These guys have to come down the pit lane, and a guy like Mitchell Collins did end up coming down the pit lane, and I do believe he took 4 tires. He actually did not, so these guys did not take tires, but they did fill up their gas tanks with Octane Racing fuel, so Collins might be, if he doesn't fall another lap down, he's currently in turn 2 as the field halfway down the back straightaway. Collins is a lap down. If Collins is able to log some laps and get in front of these guys, he might be able to pull off a potential walk-off strategy. And him spinning around might be the best thing to happen to him. And I'm surprised he didn't take any tires, because he did a half spin down the back straightaway. I thought the caution was for sure going to come out, but it did not, as he was off of the racing surface. And you can't exactly see it from here. We'll take the ticker down so you can see. He did not take tires. He took half a tank of gas and filled his gas tank, or got some damage repair. But right now, when will these guys come down the pit lane here? 22 laps into the fuel run, coming around the 13 laps to go in what has been an eventful NEX 500 here at the Armory Digital Super Speedway. We have had 2 incidents so far tonight. One was the huge one that took out 14 cars. Then we had an extended lightning delay, as well as some extended work to the catch fence, and then we had a spin off of turn 2, rather down the back straightaway, halfway down the back straightaway going into turn 3. And now with everybody beginning to saunter their way down to the low side. Is anybody going to come down the pit lane? A very, very tricky pit lane to come down. Or do we get another caution with 12 laps to go? This race is official. Campbell Marsh very, very close for comfort with the 99. He is banging doors with Fitzwater. They're 4 wide, 2 rows deep. Matthew Hubert right in the middle in that number 23 machine. Hubert dead center in the 23. Bouchard to the point. 4 wide. Here's Campbell Marsh down on the low side. Again, Marsh is locked into the chase, and he does have 3 bonus points. Rather, 3 stage wins under his belt. That'll add on to where he will finish. But right now, Esteban Lasserre holds the regular season championship over Riley Sampson. Sampson currently scored in 26th as the last car on the lead lap, and Logan Williams, trouble for him. He is off the pace. I believe he got into the outside wall, and he will lose the draft. Same thing with Rogel Dorn. Dorn in the 27, looks like he had some, I believe he was involved in that incident down the back straightaway. Marsh out front in the 31. It has been caution-free throughout this second half of the race. Gutierrez to the race lead. 10 laps to go here at Armory Digital. Gutierrez leads that time by. Up into the outside wall, the 4 of Monaco. He will go the wrong direction. And again, given how small this lead pack is, you get up into the outside wall, you lose all your momentum. That'll likely be the end of your competitive race, as you see all the momentum that Shell Pennzoil Ford lost, or that Shell Pennzoil Chevy lost for Chevy Power Racing. Meanwhile, his CPR teammate Reggie Fogelman gunning down to the inside, coming around to 9 laps to go. But when will we see these guys come down the pit lane? Their fuel tanks are running dry, and I believe they're going to come down within these next couple of laps. And do we get a yellow for these guys coming down the pit lane? I will admit, in the recording last night, we did get a moment where the caution came out during green flag pit stops, and the game did crash. I will be upfront about that, and hopefully these guys can figure out getting down onto the pit area nice and orderly. And as I say that, they are going 4 wide and still gunning for every position like there is no tomorrow. Eight to go at the stripe. 27 laps into the fuel run. These guys are going to have to come down the pit lane. Eight to go. Fastest lap in this race belonging to Reggie Fogelman, a 44.315. I believe we might get some guys coming down the pit lane this time around. They will not come down, however. Everybody trying to stretch out their glands and stretch their fuel tanks. Danny Fallington with a little bit of damage in the 16. Did not see that on an initial look. 7 to go here in the regular season finale, and it is still anybody's race. Nathan Stapleton will go to the lead in the 97. He is looking to end a long-standing winless streak as well. Stapleton trying to break a 95 race winless streak in that 97. Does anybody come down the pit lane this time by? They do not. Again, everybody getting really, really racing. I think these guys are going to save as much as they can, but we're going to go 4 wide. Everybody getting tight going into 1. Oh, up to the outside wall, John Andrews able to keep that car straight. Brennan Wilmington to the point. How long can he hold the lead? Five and a half laps to go. Wilmington leads in the 62. When will these drivers hit the pit lane? And here we go. The answer is going to be now. Barretto, first car on the pit lane. The first group of cars will come down. Notable drivers: Angel Gutierrez, Bruno Diacomo, the 96, the 23, the 31, the 98. And Bradley Ream, I think he may have wanted to come down the pit lane. He may have gotten a little bit trapped there, but 5 laps to go. Here comes the pit cycle. We got to watch out for that 71 of Mitchell Collins. When he gets his lap back, will he be able to catch back up to these guys? Owen Miles down the pit lane. Remember, Sampson and Collins can make it to the end. Here we go. Juan Rodriguez down the pit lane, coming around to 4 laps to go. Zachary Fitzwater will say, we're going to roll the dice. The Australian will go gambling here at Armory Digital, and everybody will go down the pit lane looking for a little splash and go with 4 to go. Juan Rodriguez, the dominant car of the evening so far, will go to the pit area and will grab just a splash of octane race fuel. He's got to be careful with everybody else coming out. Rodriguez is out. Fitzwater very slow down the back straightaway. He may be running out of fuel. Riley Sampson will come down. He could not make it to the end. So Sampson, in fact, did not come down the pit lane. Mitchell Collins did. Bradley Ream is out. Everybody taking splash and go pit stops here in the late stages of the NEX 500 with 3 laps to go. Right now, Fitzwater still being shown in the race lead. Oh, and contact and a heavy damage for Roberto Crown Jr. He was running in second. Zachary Fitzwater will go to his pit stall. He'll get a splash of fuel. Trying to see who will be the race leader. I believe Juan Rodriguez is going to cycle out to be the race leader. Zachary Fitzwater coming off of the pit lane. Gotta wait for this to cycle out here. Trying to race off the pit area is that 21 machine. Fitzwater with an extended pit stop in the 99, and there he is coming off. He is going to lose a lot of ground. Somehow, Roberto Crown Jr. up to second, but he has got a lot of front-end damage. That team dropping the jack immediately, and they told him go, but he's going to lose a lot of time. Heavy, heavy damage for him. And now Igor Barreto down on the low side. Does Barreto have the lead? 3 laps to go, coming to 2 laps to go. Sticks high in the air. Igor Barreto, I believe, should cycle out to be the race leader. But look at all of these cars behind that 13 machine. We're just waiting for timing and scoring to cycle out here, but I believe Barreto should be scored as the race leader. He is. But he has got an entourage of cars that are anything but an entourage. Wilmington down to the inside with a lap and a half to go. They're going to go 4 wide for third. Here's Nathan Stapleton, 5 wide for third, nearly. Wilmington trying to push the issue in the 62. Off turn 4 for the penultimate time. Down the front straightaway, it is still anybody's race. White flag is out. Final time here in the NEX 500. Nathan Stapleton trying to end an 0 for 95 streak. 4 wide behind them. Stapleton to the inside. Corey Case looking for a good run this evening. Same thing with Brennan Wilmington. Down the back straightaway for the final time. Wilmington trying to snap a winless streak of his own, but it's the big staple, Nathan Stapleton out front. Wilmington has got a little bit of room on the low side. Will he utilize it? He'll stay in the middle with Stapleton. He'll stay in the middle with his fellow veteran, and now Corey Case down low. Corey Case with a run on the inside, Stapleton on the outside, coming off turn 4 for the final time. They're not going to catch up to lap traffic. Where are they going to be at the start-finish line? Side by side, Stapleton at the line. Nathan Stapleton ends the drought, and he wins at Armory Digital. Stapleton by 2/100ths of a second over Corey Case. We'll say not another repeat winner. And the 95 race wait is over for Stapleton. He will take the Octane checkered flag after a wild, wild race at Armory Digital. Corey Case will end up in second. I believe that should be enough to put him as a contender for the wild card, and we will get all the points situated. A couple of drivers running out of fuel. My goodness. What a damn race. And the big staple, Nathan Stapleton, saying it was well worth the wait. Campo Marsh will finish in 11th. The regular season championship, the 24 of Riley Sampson, finishes in 26th. Esteban Lasser will be your regular season champion coming out of Armory Digital. But right now, the big question is going to be the wild card standings. And again, coming into this race here this evening, Alexander Rowe held on to it, but it was only by a tiny little bit of a margin there by Corey Case. Corey Case finished well ahead as Alexander Rowe finishes in 10th. But again, Corey Case, who got second, was 14th in the point standings, and we'll have a little bit of work to do to figure all of this out. But we'll take a look at the standings for the 28 cars that ended up finishing this race. Nathan Stapleton, Corey Case, Brennan Wilmington, your podium. Igor Barreto, Reggie Fogelman, your top 5. Gutierrez, Rodriguez, Andrews, Diacomo, and Alexander Rowe, the top 10. And we will go ahead and get the points calculated here for you guys in just a moment. Fastest lap of the race went to Reggie Fogelman in the number 3 machine. And nobody took 4 tires in this race. So nobody will get that fastest pit stop bonus. But what a race and what a finish for all of these guys here. And we will get a look at the point standings here in a little bit. Once again, had to add the other drivers that failed to finish this race, and then calculate the point standings after that. But goodness gracious, what an evening here, and we are not quite out of the woods yet. It's going to take about, probably, I'd gauge about 10 minutes for us to get these points situated. But nonetheless, stick around here to figure out who will be the 12 drivers racing for a championship here in 2025. We will be right back here in just a couple of moments. And that is the only, I just will say that is the only post-race graphic that I have up so far for the Fuel Sportsman Series. A good advertisement for the Fuel Sportsman Series for the Max Buchanan Foundation 100 being raced at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway this upcoming Friday night. But we will get everything situated in just a couple of moments, and we'll be back in a little bit to figure out the point standings. So just a little bit of an update for everybody here as we're still calculating the point standings. I will say that it is currently taking a little bit longer than I expected because with the different EXE file, Score Forward didn't like how we had the two different races. So I am going to say that this race is currently, or rather, the stream will end and we will have a whatever it's called. We'll have a race to the end, or rather, we'll have a separate video going up later on tonight, going over the final point standings. I didn't want to keep you guys waiting, but nonetheless, Nathan Stapleton is the winner here of the NEX 500. Esteban Lacer is the regular season champion, but we will have the rest of the point standings here later on this evening. They'll also be uploaded in the Discord server as well. But I really appreciate everybody sticking with me through thick and thin. This has been a very, very frustrating evening so far tonight, to really say the least, and I'm glad we were finally able to get past it with 10 races to go. Should be a fun run to the end here for the regular season, but nonetheless, on behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, we're saying goodnight. That's going to do it here from Armory Digital. Congratulations once again to Nathan Stapleton for winning the NEX 500. Next week, NBCS is off, but Fuel Racing League action remains with the start of Season 7 of the Fuel Grand National Series. The Pensacola Shootout Exhibition airs this Wednesday evening at 9 p.m. here on the NASRN, and Fuel Sportsman travels to Las Vegas for the Max Buchanan Foundation 100 at 9:50. Then later on in 2 weeks, the NBCS will open its postseason Under the Lights at the Lady in Black. Coverage for the Waffle House Rebel 500 at the Darlington Raceway airs at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively here on the NASRN. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get your point standings here in just a little bit on the North American Sim Racing Network. But from Seattle, Washington, on behalf of the North American Sim Racing Network, my name is Trey Wright. Have a great evening, folks. We'll see you in 2 weeks for the start of the chase from South Carolina.